Let's talk about silver, guys. Listen, there's a point I want to make. It's not the amount of silver that's in the world that matters. It's how much silver is available and ready for sale. That's what matters. Now, how many of you guys have been trying to boil some water on the stove? And you're sitting around in the kitchen waiting for it to boil in the pot. And you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting. Okay? So you put the lid on the pot, and you head into the bathroom for just a minute, brush your teeth or something. And you come out and it's boiled all over the floor. Just a minute you head into the bathroom. Okay? How many of you had that happen to you? It's a common occurrence, right? A watch pot never boils. You're waiting for something that seems like it takes forever. But I'm going to tell you what. There's industry out there uses silver. And the demand for industry is using most of what the miners produce every year. Now, there's coin and bar demand. And when you heap that on top of industrial demand, and considering there's very little now of salvageable silver, like scrap, coming in. There used to be quite a bit, but there's very little now. Industrial demand is slowly increasing. There's so many different uses for silver. So what's happening is the miners, through the processes of the new mining technologies they have now, they've been able to increase production over the last few years. But basically, it just means that they're digging it out of the earth a lot faster than they used to be, and they're able to dig it out an awful lot faster than they used to be able to dig it out. They're not finding any new big finds of silver. They've scoured the earth everywhere. They've dug everywhere practically. And they've got new modern equipment. They can look into the ground. They can walk over the ground. They can tell if there's silver down there. And they've just about scoured everywhere for silver. So these silver mines, an awful lot of them also produce silver as a byproduct of production. Like one of the big new discoveries they've made in Mongolia is it's a large silver deposit, yes, but it's mostly zinc, and they're only getting so much per ton silver, minute amounts of silver per ton. Most of it's all zinc and lead, and so the miners, what they're going through now is, because they're scouring it out so fast, the silver, they're going through the higher grade ore. They're scouring it out with the new mining equipment. And what they're running into now is the mines are starting to get depleted of the best grade ore, and they're having to go into more subgrade ore that doesn't have as many ounces per ton. Simple, right? It's just simple math. And so what's happening is ore grades are going to start falling off. So in order to keep up world production levels, they're going to have to mine through more and more ore. And the ore grades will fall off sharper and sharper. And so it's going to take more and more energy to yield that ounce of silver. Means higher and higher costs. That's what it means. In the future, it means higher and higher costs to get it out of the ground. There's a lot of silver in the ground. The world's never going to completely run out of silver. So the thing is you say to yourself, well, how can we actually have a shortage? Because we hear talk of a silver shortage. You say, if the world's got all this silver in the mines, they can always mine more out of the ground. This is true. How can we ever have a silver shortage? And I'm going to explain to you how we can actually have a silver shortage. Because the numbers we're looking at are not the silver that's in the ground. It takes time to get it out of the ground. And it's not the silver that people are saving, like when they make a whole bunch of eagles and people buy them. Those eagles are not going to come back into the marketplace at the prices we're at now, because the people that bought them, they're not going to sell them back, not for less money than they paid for them. Doesn't make any sense, right? So the real number that we need to concentrate on here is the amount of silver that's deliverable for sale. That number they're keeping very secret. They don't want you to know. And the reason why is because that number every year has been declining. There's going to come a certain point in time, and I'm waiting for it, when more than declining, there's not enough to go around for demand. Now, what if market sentiment changes? What if we have some sort of an economic shock? Maybe a Deutsche Bank, or a stock market decline, or, these things are imminent. They're right in front of our face. They're right here. These things could happen. Tomorrow it could happen. Deutsche Bank could suddenly go off of a cliff, or the stock market could suddenly go into a market decline really fast. Just boom, the market goes down, and people get scared. Investors get scared. What if China starts having problems? What if the Brexit does it, triggers it, and investors get scared, and market sentiment for silver starts to change because suddenly the price starts to increase? And an awful lot of bar and coin demand suddenly just jumps. Boom! Bar and coin demand goes up. Everybody wants a piece of the action. Because nobody wants something if they're scared if it's going to go to $10, which is the sentiment that we've been in. We've come through that, where people say, I don't want to buy silver right now. I know it's only $13.80, but I'm scared it's going to go down to $10. I'll lose money. This is what we've been going through. But now it's getting up around close, getting up towards $16, and market sentiment's changing a little bit. It's changing a little bit. What's the effect of this change in market sentiment? Well, let's get in there and let's open up the charts and take a look at what the effect has been of a little bit of a change, just a little bit of a change in market sentiment. Now remember, the number we're looking for is not the amount of silver that's in the world that people own, because it's the whole silver stock. We're looking for that number of how much is available for sale. Like how much is available to supply the entire market. It's been declining. And let's take a look. Let's get in there and take a look at what's going on. Let's take a look at something that SR Rocco report. It says here that Deliverable Silver reports that the COMEX reach historic lows. Now this article is only a few days old, It says, according to the CMA Group, recent release, the COMEX registered silver inventories have reached an all-time low yesterday. See, this is what we're interested in. This is the silver that's available for sale. Right? And you know what we're looking at? Measly amounts. It says there are only 25.3 million ounces of registered silver inventories at the COMEX. Right now. 23 million ounces. That's it. Do you know how tiny that is? That's what you see when you go to these places like ATMEX and stuff, and they got all these monster boxes. They'll have like 100 monster boxes. Come buy all you want. You're seeing this inventory that they have available for sale, and yes, they can cover 100 monster boxes or 1,000 monster boxes because they got 25 million ounces. It's a lot of silver. It's a lot of silver for you or me. But market sentiment changes. How long do you think, and how quick do you think that 25 million ounces could just suddenly evaporate? In a week or two, it could be all gone. Just that quick. Because if you get people start to come in and the market sentiment changes and they want to buy silver for investment because they're scared because something happened, like a Deutsche Bank, poof, gone. All the silver that's available for sale, poof, gone. Suddenly you got a silver shortage. It's not that there's no silver in the world. It's that there's no silver available for sale. You go to your local dealer and he hasn't got any. That's the shortage. Now the guy next door to you, he might have went in and bought a monster box. He's got silver. That doesn't mean we're out of silver. He's got the silver, but you don't, because you didn't buy the monster box while it's available. And now suddenly, poof, it's all gone. Now what's going to happen is, at that point in time, you're going to see the price increase. And the price is going to go up significantly enough where suddenly at a certain point, silver will come back in and be for sale again. And then the shortage ends. But when the shortage ends, you're looking at higher prices. How much higher? I don't know. But very likely not $15 an ounce. You know what I mean? Seriously. I'd never see $15 an ounce again once that happens. You know? And so this is what we're looking at. This is what the shortage is all about. It's not a shortage as in there's no silver on Earth. That's not what it's about. It's about a very short period in time when there's very little silver available for sale, and market sentiment wants silver. That's what the silver shortage is about. This is the reality of the situation, and this is what real stackers out there have been waiting for a long time. They've been salivating over this. They know it's coming because the silver inventories that are available for sale have been in decline. Every year they've been using more silver for industry that they don't have, and then the bar and coin demand takes a little bit more than they have, and they have to resupply the market in, and they've been pulling it in from places to keep that coming, to keep the game going of the paper silver. Because right now, if you take a look here on this article, what you'll see is right now it's like bar and coin demand is increasing, and what we see is okay, I seen it down here a little bit. Try to find it again. Okay, owners per ounce right now. What's happening is the people that own the paper silver, they're getting more of them owning each individual ounce of real silver. Now let me see what were the numbers here. I'm trying to find it in this article. So it was something like 35 to 1 or something like that right now. 35 people own paper, and only one guy can have that actual ounce of silver. It says in April 2015 there was a little more than 10 owners per ounce of registered silver at the COMEX. However, this began to rise slowly, then to surge in the beginning of February from 20 owners per ounce to 35 owners per ounce yesterday. Actually, 34.53 owners per every ounce. So this means that they're playing a game of musical chairs, basically. At the COMEX, you've got 35 people owning the same ounce of silver. On paper, it says that they own that ounce of silver, and in reality, there's only the 1 ounce of silver. What are they all going to do? Fight over it? If we get a silver shortage, where there's not enough silver to actually supply the markets with fresh silver. You know, I mean, you guys, if you're stacking silver, you like to go in there and you like to be able to buy your ounce of silver when you want it. What if it's not available? That's just going to increase demand. Suddenly, everybody's going to want it. And these guys that own paper, there's 35 of them that own that 1 ounce of silver for every ounce that they got at the COMEX, evidently right now, at this period in time. So, this is what we're looking at, guys. Thank you guys for listening, and I'd say keep stacking. You know, I mean, not financial advice, but it's probably one of your best things out there to actually get out of the dollar, get divested of the dollar, not have any counterparty risk, and actually be able to hold it in your hand. Because with cryptocurrencies, you can't hold it in your hand. And like a lot of people say, it is true. If the power goes out or there's no electricity, you can't use cryptocurrency. It just won't work. Silver's a bit old-fashioned, you know, but it comes down to the end of the day, it's the people's money. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you later. Bye-bye.